We're live.
Yo, yo, yo! Club 52 is in the house! Today, we are going to be reviewing Shark for the Mega Drive, or ports of other consoles if available. Who do we have here today, even though I am not the host?
Oh, you want us to introduce ourselves, do you?
So who is the host?
Gordon's host. You can start with this.
So welcome, we're doing the Shark review as part of the Game Club 52. I think everyone here has had a crack at it. There's a few guys in the chat already. Retro Bear, he played it. Yeah. Nah. And Paul, did you play it? You didn't record it, you played it though, live.
I recorded it. No, I recorded it. I just haven't put the video out. I played it, recorded a full run with all the credits you can have originally. Got as far as I could get, and then was planning. I was planning to do it as a voiceover rather than just hearing me swear constantly, as what happened with my types of videos, and I just didn't get around to doing the voiceover. I've been mad busy at work and stuff. You know, my job roles changed, and yeah, so I didn't get around to putting it out. I've not got around to putting many videos out recently, to be fair, just purely because of work. Real life takes over, unfortunately. YouTube is the pastime.
No. So I don't know if anybody actually did a one credit run. Did you manage a one credit, Ross?
I didn't. I probably could, but I only did a couple of runs, and then the one that I recorded where I beat it. But I wasn't ever going to put that video out. It was just me swearing at it a lot. But I thought it was worth putting up.
Here's a question, Edward. Your one credit run. Did you beat it?
Yes, I one credited run it. I can't really speak. I've literally woke up 10 minutes ago. Yeah, so I was using Shark on PlayStation 4, which comes like as a set, and to get the Mega Drive version, you have to download the DLC to play it. So, and you have to have like a Japanese account to do so. So while I couldn't be asked to download it all and stuff like that, I was playing the arcade run, and that is absolutely balls hard, even on the super easy difficulty mode that I was playing it on. But yeah, I finally beat it on the arcade mode, and then I finally thought, right, let's get the DLC. Got it. First go, I actually one credited run it on the Mega Drive. And then I thought I'd stream it, and it just went to pot. It's not as easy when you're streaming. It really isn't.
No.
I don't want to take Gordon's fire, but on the arcade mode on the PlayStation version that you had, is it like true arcade? Because the Evercade port that I was playing was like a true arcade port, and it was balls hard. It was harder than the Lion King was. That's how bad my language got when I was trying to play it. So I mean, I am curious. Was your PlayStation 1? Was it as like a true arcade port, or was it slightly different?
Who, mine?
No, Eddie.
Oh, me? I thought you were talking to Gordon for some reason. Oh, no, it's the PlayStation. Yeah, it's PS4. It's PS4, so it's the Tailplan arcade. It's the actual arcade.
It's the top.
So yeah, it's a Tailplan arcade. They're releasing a load of like releases. So first up there was the Tiger Heli games, and then it was like the Shark and Sky Shark as a compilation, and it was just arcade. It was like, but you have like the different dip switch modes. So yeah, the arcade mode was absolutely balls hard. I had to do it because I had to get the platinum, so I had to go through and beat it. But there was like what was called the super easy mode, which was a lot better. Every time you got hit, you'd drop a bomb instantly and you wouldn't lose a life.
Okay.
So it was it made it a little bit easier to play like that. But the actual true arcade mode is very hard. But like I enjoyed the challenge though. Like it was a lot more fun than the Mega Drive, I would say, because There's a lot more real estate. There's a lot more going on. Because I think with the Mega Drive version, you can kind of make it a bit too easy, I think. Once you're fully powered up, you just got to just keep looking out for them stray bullets and you're good to go. Where the actual arcade, because the screen is so much bigger, like not just vertically, but like the resolution, you've got more fitting on. That red power up, that doesn't fill the screen like it does on the Mega Drive. So it gives you the much more challenge.
To answer Wooder's question, that was me. Trying to be a little bit more PC instead of swearing on Gordon's stream.
Fine. There you are. I noticed on some people's streams though that I don't know if it was just because of the frame rate or whatever, the refresh rate on TVs, but sometimes the red power up you didn't see it all the time. You know what I mean? It was kind of like flickering and cutting off. Was that because of the refresh rate on TVs, or did you not see it sometimes on some of the?
No one was holding the button down, were they? They were just mashing it, and it was kind of
Probably down to the capture card if it was somebody capturing it.
Aye, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Because were you using a Mega Drive or were you using something else?
So mine captured.
Me, I was using Mega Drive.
Sorry, Gordon.
No, you're fine. Fine. I was using the Mega Drive. I was using that AT Games Mega Drive. You know, the kind of the mini console thing.
Because I saw on I think it might have been Ollie 8-Bit Boy UK. Hi, Ollie, I can see you're in the comments. I think on his video when he played it, because he uses a Mega SG. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ollie, but the footage didn't actually show at times the red laser. And I did wonder if that, depending on what hardware you were using, or if it maybe was the capture or not, was just not displaying it. Because when I played it, my first run, I had the rapid fire on my arcade stick switched on, and that caused it to actually be so rapid with the in-game rapid that it was only going up half the screen and stopping, not going all the way to the very top. But that wasn't like a graphics glitch. That was hardware rapid fire. But I think I saw Ollie and a couple of other people where it didn't show on the screen, and I assume that was either capture or different hardware causing it. So
yeah, I saw a few people where you'd only see one side of the lasers, like you see the right hand side too.
Yeah,
that was bizarre. I was like, I swear that ain't possible.
Yeah, I think that's the
what I
capture.
meant,
I've seen people talking about the capture not showing everything, not every frame. I noticed like when I was pausing my game when I had the red laser on, it would like show like really strange sort of like effects because it was like because it flickers so much.
Yeah.
Like I think on the actual game itself, I suppose like the capture card only captures certain frames and it's probably missing some of them, so that's why it's showing like that on a capture card.
Yeah, I think when
I played it ghetto, pointing the camera at the TV.
when I captured mine, I think it looked like it did on Gordon's video back there. Then it looked like the full thing, but when I was watching it on the screen, you were like Ross was describing, you were only seeing one half of the laser, and it felt really weird. So I when I record, I've got my stuff on my TV, but then I have it. I can watch the video on my PC screens, and it was it was pretty strange seeing what was going on the capture card to what was actually happening on the screen. But the video looks fine. I might actually put it out at some point. Never know. There's no audio other than the game audio, so it'd be pointless.
I was hoping just to see you swear your head off. That's all I wanted to see.
Well, I
Big game.
figured
I'm asking if anyone played the real game. That's a good opportunity for Ross to show off his wee cart because the cart's lovely.
Mine's not the real game technically. It's the re-release one. So it's on the
I know, but it's nice. It's nice.
yellow cart.
Can I put you on full screen?
if you click on him,
How'd you put
should
your
be able
full
to-
screen with that? I'll click on I'm up the wall. I am up the wall. Solo.
There's the cart. The
There we go.
yellow. It's from the Turfland
I feel like
Collector's
retro
Edition.
chef.
Is it
Retro
yellow
bit.
because? Is it yellow because out of all the Towerplan games, that's the piece of piss one?
It could be. I do like the slip covers. You know you like a slip cover, Eddie.
Oh yeah, that is a sexy slip.
I like the artwork on it as well. I'll tell you what I was annoyed a bit about this game, though. There's a lot of fire, but no fucking sharks, is there? Yeah, I really enjoyed the game. So,
Yeah, that was good.
I mean,
Paul's done one. Paul's away.
It's
just opened up for a live run.
No, I've not gone anywhere. I was just going to pick my arcade thing up. So the Fire Shark on here was just an absolute nightmare. But Eddie's managed to beat it. So
with lots of credits, like it wasn't just like one
to be fair, I probably could have beat it if I'd have spammed like 1 million credits that you can do on this. But I was trying to play it fair, and I couldn't even get off the first the first level. It's just so unfair, so unfair. It is. Arcade games are so set up to make you just put money in. It's unreal.
mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it as a kid, but playing stuff like this now, kind of realize just that they were there for you to feed money into a machine.
Yeah. The problem is as well with like the arcade version is like a lot of like shooters like that came out afterwards. You've got more like pattern based, so you can sort of like memorize the levels a little bit. Where that's got patterns, but the bullets come straight for you. They're relentless. They're like there's so many different bullets going on the screen, and it's like you have no chance. Like honestly, it took me about 3 hours to beat the game with credits for the arcade game.
I think me and Dylan ended up with the same problem. There's some biplanes that come from the bottom of the screen, and you're not expecting them at all. And then you're at the bottom of the screen because there's loads of stuff coming at you, and then these biplanes suddenly appear, and you can't.
I was about to say, even on the Mega Drive one, there's too much stuff that just appears at the bottom or will swoop round, come from the back. You have no chance of shooting anything behind you. I like stuff that gives you a chance to fight back when being chased. But
although I will say,
I must have played the first level, first 2 levels 3 times. It was insane. Like mastering just the first level continuously until you made it past the first 2 levels without losing a life. Do you know what I mean? Like, aye.
I was annoyed on my run. I think I did the first. I think 8 levels without losing a life. Then it just went to shit.
Aye.
Absolute.
I was playing it again today, and I got to the 4th level. The 4th level, and it just killed me. The level with the train tracks. You know, the kind of that was tough, man. That killed me today.
For me, it was the Arctic level as well,
since.
level 8.
Once we finish talking about this game, we'll let people who don't know what it is. We'll let them know it's a shooter and everything.
Actually,
we'll just come on just saying everyone knows what Fire Shark is.
I did wonder, do we need to take a step back and explain what this stream is about and why we're even here? And, you know, Gordon, you're the one who kind of instigated all this. Do you want to go for it, or do you want me to kind of say it?
What was the question, sorry?
Sorry. I would say we should probably take a step back and explain why we're all here, and because you were the one who suggested, I believe, doing a monthly like game club. Is that right? So,
well, kind of. It was more actually. Eddie mentioned it a while ago about how he tried to start like a book club of games. I'm sure Eddie said it ages and ages ago, and I think it just materialized now. So, I don't know.
Well, you mentioned. Did you mention it in a comment to someone else or something? And then I jumped on the comment or something to say, "Let's do this." I think that's basically how it sort of like materialized this time. At least.
I think this kind of thing came about. A lot of people won't have seen these. We did them a couple of times live, didn't we? The shelf game where people would pick games off of each other's shelves, and then they would have to buy it and play it and review it. But then it's better doing it the way that Gordon and Eddie have come up with it now, where effectively you play the game if you own it, and you chip in games that you own, kind of thing. It's I much prefer this rather than having to go and try and buy a £200 game that I pick off a Rossi's shelf, kind of thing.
Well, I mean, this has just been an evolution of all this time, hasn't it? Really,
Yeah.
There was another one that we did, that shelf game, where we had to pull up games off our own shelves, and then we'd review it. Because I can remember one of them I pulled off. It was like Top Trumps for the PS2, and I actually did do a review video of it. I just never posted it.
Yeah, I ended up with Banjo-Kazooie in that one, the original Banjo, and I forgot how dodgy the controls were on it.
I had to play Rain World at one point. If anyone's ever played that, it's like, imagine a Metroidvania with like a time limit, so you have to hide and die. You just get wiped out by the rain, but with like the same controls as Prince of Persia, like the old ones. That was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. You're like a slug cat thing. That was. I recommend that game.
So 3 years later, here's your reviews, everyone.
I put a review up of it. I said it was shit.
But,
Go on, Gordon. Give us your thoughts on the game that we're here to review. Give us a backstory, and we've kind of touched on how we've got to here, but give us a backstory and on your thoughts on this game. It's all John Bundy's fault anyway, because this was his choice.
No, it wasn't. It was Retro Red Steve's choice.
It was.
He's not here.
Must be one of the two of you.
I did pick Mega Drive games, but
yeah.
But, for those who don't know, we each, who were in the Club 52 WhatsApp chat, picked 3 games each. Gordon recorded them and then made one of those like wheel spins, and then like set to, do the spin, and it landed on Fire Shark, and then we all played it. And then Gordon, if you are up for doing this, I've on my second screen got up one of the videos, so that if people don't know what game we're actually talking about, if I share my screen, you may want to just have that playing while we just talk about it for just a little couple of minutes, so people actually know.
Look at it, yeah. Jesus.
It'll appear as a second. No, it'll appear as a second option, Gordon, and you just have to pop it up.
Yeah, so I just need to tell it to actually share my screen. So entire screen. There you go. Share. So that should now be an option for you to select from the.
List. Got it. Yep. Okay. Oh, this man.
There you go. So for those who don't know, it's Shmup.
So is this Paul's run then? Is it his infamous run?
Not even swearing here.
I won't say who it is. See if you can figure it out.
Dylan. No.
That's moving super quick, though.
I was going to say, it can't be Generation Pixels run. It's still alive.
I can still hear the swearing seared into my mind. I tell you what, that Dylan's run was my favourite out of them all, because I've known Dylan for a long time, and I've never heard him swear so much in like one sitting before in my life. Like, I didn't even know he could do it. There was F-bombs, there was everything, every swear word under the sun that he dropped.
So we'll talk about it in a second, but how much?
It was very raw. It was nice.
Yeah.
How much of a bastard is it when you've got that red laser and you suddenly pop one of them stupid other colour, the green one was all
green one. Oh. To be honest,
first time I played it, I thought the green was the best thing. Then, I realised how incredibly shite it was.
Well, it doesn't really power up, does it? Like the other ones. Blue, no. I actually don't mind. Sometimes, especially on the Mega Drive, it's quite handy because you can what's called point blank, where you find a safe space on the boss, you get yourself up there, and then that auto fires so much, it just becomes such a powerful weapon that you can't beat it with the red one. But the red one's great for just clearing enemies all around you.
Yeah, red one's great for a noob like me.
As well.
So, anyone up for a 1cc green run then?
No. So go on, Gordon, give us your thoughts on the game then. Whilst we'll do a round table of the thoughts.
Oh my god. kicking John, but I think I'm kicking John second. Oh no!
He's the only one who knows what he's doing.
Anybody who's new here, this is the first time Gordon's hosted a stream, and he's just trying to work it out. So,
John, come back, John. Oh, he's back.
Can I just say, 8-bit boy Ollie's just asked, and Alan says,
So sorry.
how do you get into Club 52? Ollie says there's a weird kind of initiation. Yeah, it's called beating some games.
it's called playing games that aren't Ratalaika ones, Al.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You know, as much as I play those Ratalaika games, I do play other things to beat them.
No idea. Nobody else wants to play the host.
Well, it was your idea to do it, so.
So go on, give us your thoughts.
Steve's bloody game.
Well,
so
you can't even
my
make
thoughts on
comments.
Fireshark then.
well, okay. So
Right, I'll give you
should we go like around? So start with Gordon. You're the first square. So what was your thoughts of the game?
So my thoughts on Fireshark was, well, it was a really good game, obviously, but it was very kind of new to me as well. And that's what's good about this kind of group and this kind of challenge is that we get to play through this. We get to play. I played quite a lot of shmups this year, and it's mostly because of Eddie, because he keeps on posting. The other one I played was Rigid Force, which he posted for the Switch, and that was really good actually. Rigid Force is a good game, but I think playing Fireshark, like I said earlier, like I played the first level. It must have been about 20 times to perfect it, and then you kind of keep on progressing, and then the most gut-wrenching thing is when you die and lose all your power-ups, and you have to start off on level 4 with nothing. It's horrible. But yeah, I did really enjoy it. Aye. So next is Ross.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm not the biggest like shmup player, but I do love them. It's a genre I really like. So when one popped up to play, I was like, oh, this will be good. Like a couple of weeks ago, months ago, I beat Thunder Force 4. I thought I'll be up for another one, and that game's solid. So when I went into Fireshark, I thought this is a bit of a welcome change. It wasn't as difficult as what I was used to. I still wasn't very good at it because I hadn't had all the practice I had with Thunder Force. The only reason I've ever beat that is because I'm chipping away at it for years. But I was able to beat this in like a couple of goes, using continues towards the end. But yeah, I like the power ups in it. To be honest, apart from the green one, everything you actually felt like you were making progress with your power ups. You could when you lost it, or you knew. Like some other games, you can. I don't know. You're underpowered, but not as much as this is. Like you can wipe out levels without being hit when you're powered up on this. Then you're back down to like barely moving when you get wiped out. But overall, yeah, it was a good game. It was good fun. I'm going to definitely keep playing it and try to get better at it. But yeah, there's not much you can say. It's a shmup. I shot stuff. I died a lot.
Yeah, so
Who's next, Eddie?
as a shmup aficionado, I do enjoy my shmups, I must say. It's probably one of my favorite genres. I've got to say, not that I'm actually that good. I'm like moderately adequate, I would say. I'm just okay. But I just love everything that they bring, and this shmup in particular, the soundtrack is like top tier. It's like it's got that sort of like tour plan, sort of like chugging along. It sort of like makes you like bounce along with it, sort of thing, and it kind of gets you that energy to play the game. The only thing that I don't like about it is the power-ups in some ways, because at some points the hardest part of the game is trying not to pick up a green power-up. You're like where you die mostly in this game, especially the Mega Drive one, is trying to avoid the power-ups that you don't want, because they stay on the screen that long, and you're like trying to avoid them. I mean, without them, I don't think the Mega Drive one would be any challenge at all. I think once you got that red power-up, that's it. You've won the game. But the introduction to them power-ups, it just adds that like nice bit of I suppose, difficulty to the game.
But there's one
be
point where
interesting
it
to
has like
see-
4 of the green and 4 of the blue
Yeah.
shooting around, and it's just
Yeah, I mean, it's all part of the fun, isn't it? I suppose. But yeah, like I think everyone should try the arcade one at one point, because I think it would open it up to a different feeling game to what you've all played. Because it does become a bit slightly bland experience once you're so overpowered as a shooter. But when you're playing the arcade one, when you're using a red power up, you kind of like use it a bit more strategically, because obviously it kind of like envelopes or whatever you want to call it around you, because the screen size is so big on the arcade. If that's going down and there's like stuff up at the top that you want to beat, you can't just hold your button down. You have to sort of like strategically like alternate pressing the button to sort of like direct the power up a little bit more. And I think that just adds that. Like I really prefer the arcade one as the Mega Drive one. For me, the Mega Drive was just a nice chill game that you only swear occasionally at. So I think I will probably play it from time to time, just for that, like sort of like I need to have a nice little, just a nice game that I know I can beat in one credit, because I think it is doable even for most people.
Mm-hmm. Ed, is your window open again?
No.
I thought I had a fire engine going by or something, or an ambulance.
It was mine. It was mine.
Oh, was yours?
No, I have a police route near me, so that's probably.
My window's not open, but it was mine. It's on vent. Sorry, it's not open.
I have ambulances go past every so often.
What's Paul's thoughts?
My thoughts. Well, look, if you were to, if I put my run up, I didn't have my microphone turned on, thankfully, because I'd always set out with the intention of doing it as a voiceover anyway, just to practice that type of video. But if I'd have put it up with my microphone on, I'd have had to have hit like the swear buzzer several times. I think if I had Mr. Bird's swear jar, he'd have been able to go on holiday about 5 times over with the amount of swearing I did. It was, but that said, I'm going to hold my hands up. Shmups and sort of 8-bit, 16-bit platformers, apart from the kind of Mario and Sonic type games, are not my favorite games. Not my favorite genre either. But outside of that, I actually enjoyed the run that I did. It was fun. The Mega Drive one, that is, not the arcade one. That wasn't fun. That was like somebody going in dry. But no, the Mega Drive one was pretty fun. It was good to play. The minute I got that red power up, I tried to hang on to that for dear life. But like Eddie said, I pretty much died every time I was trying to avoid any stupid other power up. It doesn't help that I played it on emulation, so I don't have the manual. Although I didn't think about looking at the Evercade cart's manual. I didn't know what each power up was doing.
Well, I did post a Japanese manual for you all to enlighten yourselves with.
I translated it, didn't I? Google Translate as well. But
actually, that's come really handy, to be fair, because I've been using that quite a lot recently.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable game. I must admit, when people were putting games in, I wasn't looking forward to some of these 8-bit, 16-bit ones, because I as much as I have a kind of affiliation with some of that, I'm more of a modern gamer, and but it was good to get to play. So yeah, that was my thoughts.
Cool.
And John,
yes,
what about you?
My turn. So, for those who don't know, for the majority of my life, I didn't really play shmups. Like the first shmup I ever owned was Battle Squadron for the Mega Drive, and I actually have no memories really of playing it besides thinking this was a bit hard for me. And then I started doing Ollie 8-Bit Boy UK's Master System challenges. And there were a lot of shmups in those. So suddenly I was at like my earliest videos of those were like, don't like shmups, and then suddenly you're just like, as time went on, and actually like enjoying them more and more, so much so that I actually have bought some. Then we get Fireshark. I'm not sure what to think of it initially, but if it wasn't for the cost of it, which I think is about 40 quid from memory, then if there was more to the game and I knew I would actually play a lot more, then I would probably buy it. But because I've beaten it, I'm happy that I've beaten it. I don't feel the need to pick it up because I played it via an EverDrive. But I think this is a fantastic shmup, and if you're a bit on the fence about enjoying this genre or not, definitely play this. Stick it on easy mode. Have the I can't remember the where it keeps firing auto fire for you.
Rapid fire.
Thank you, rapid fire. I don't know why I forgot that. And and then just go to town. It's beautifully designed. Like playing some other like Mega Drive shmups, they just make you hold your controller across the room, whereas this one, you get quite far in the game before it really does start trying to throw BS at you. So I think if it wasn't the price, I would say this would probably be like a must-own for the system. So if you could pick it up cheaply, do it. I think it's a brilliant game, and I'm glad that Steve picked it for us to do. That's my thoughts. And I didn't complete it in my video that I put up, but I did it afterwards. I didn't do a 1 credit run, but it's just knowing that on level 8, when those submarines start appearing from the water, you have to just clear them straight away, because otherwise you're going to die when they do like a fire from outwards like that. And it's just it was just I die right before the boss, and then if you die right before the boss, you can't power yourself back up, and that boss is fucking hard compared to a lot of the others as well. So it just seems a double whammy of the submarines just taking you out, and then the boss being like, "Fuck you!" So
I love how like the submarines as well. They give you like loads of bombs as well during that like period. If you can stay alive and keep all them bombs, you're like set up. But more likely than not, there's going to be a stray bullet from like one of the planes coming in from the side, and then that's it. You've lost all your bombs. Then
I found when it came to the submarines as well, they fired too quick from when they appeared, because they just came out of nowhere, then literally just shot like instantly. There's no chance to react that they were there.
Like the Spanish Inquisition.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Just appear. No, I feel a little bit better now, because I think I got to level 8. I might be remembering wrong, and it might have been level 6. But I think I got to level 8, and that's where I ran out of credits completely. So I feel a little bit better now.
It's 8. It's got an aircraft carrier on it.
Oh, I can't.
It's the Arctic, with the ice, and
I can't even remember what I did yesterday, so I'm not going to remember that.
I'm with you, Paul. I only remember the submarines because that stage was a bit of a sea level, like quite literally.
Yeah.
And while we've been live streaming, I've put into the Club 52 WhatsApp chat for those who are not a member, asking for those who can't make it but did do the challenge, what their thoughts were. And so far, Retro Red Steve, the one who actually picked the game, so he's responded with, "Great game, my fave 16-bit shmup, but fucking hate the green power-ups and level 8. And pretend I did that with a Welsh accent.
Level 7, though, I think that's when it really ramps up. That's level 7. I only remember it because that's where Dylan died on his run. And I was like determined to get past that level. And I died in the exact same place that Dylan lost his first life. And it's when them planes come from behind you. And it's like, you think that you've gone past the ones that like come side by side. And then one comes through the middle and it's like, F you.
So it'll be level 7 I got to, because it was where those planes come from behind that absolutely screwed me over. Yeah.
And level 8 though, that is
on the Mega Drive one, not on the arcade one.
When I was looking up like different versions of the game out of curiosity, I swear I saw that said there was a re-release on the Mega Drive, which has 2-player, and when you die, you start from where you died. There's no like checkpoint kind of system to it.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. I need to find out.
Okay.
Well, just
Sounds
don't die.
interesting.
Just don't die, and then you don't need to even worry
I
about
I just thought
Oh,
I'm intrigued.
Here's the story. So on the run where I actually did manage to beat it, it was like I didn't think I would, but on level 10, where I did actually die, and like I had such a good run up to that point, but I kept dying over and over, so much so that I started going down the screen when I was respawning, and it was just like, no, I just got through this fucking bit, and you're making me redo it, even though I technically had been respawning past it, but because I kept dying over and over again quite quickly, it was pushing me back down the level, and that was just such a horrible feeling of like having to redo bits you've already done. And
Didn't know you could go backwards.
Yeah, no, actually, you just reminded me that was happening on the arcade as well. That frustrated the hell out of me. Yeah, that's why it took me 3 hours to beat the game.
Yep.
I will admit, sometimes some of these shmups can be like Dark Souls for the 8-bit generation, 16-bit generation. Because sometimes you can think you're like the best person and you're absolutely destroying everything. Then you suddenly get hit by something and you're back to being the lowest powered thing in the world, and you've got to try and fight your way back up.
I don't find that as frustrating as Dark Souls. That just angers me. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, Dark Souls is one of them games that I've played and I never intend on going back to ever again.
It should be the kind of game I like, because you can keep restarting and trying things, but it doesn't restart fast enough. It'll be quick.
No Super
snappy.
Meat Boy, is it? No Super
Meat
Meat Boy.
N++.
Oh, VVV. So, I bet people are like, are these guys just like glitching out now?
Well, this is a loosey-goosey kind of stream. It's
All
just
the
us
8-bit
four-
boys
all
played.
five.
So, Gordon, if you click on the comment, you should be able
All
to
the
put it on
8-bit
the
boys
screen.
played.
Yeah, if you click on the comment,
Okay.
you should be able to put it on the screen. There you go.
How far in is that, though?
But as a shoot 'em up fan, and how do you guys find like sticking to one game? Because like normally with these shmup challenges, people just like record a run, forget about it, and they go, "Oh, that game was so hard. It was impossible." But because we gave ourselves like a month to play a game, do you feel like you might have put a bit more time into it and actually enjoyed the game a little bit more?
What
That's
I
a
would
question to everyone, by the way.
But I was just going to say, I saw it as more of a, I wanted to beat it, the same as like, you know, I like achievements and trophies. I see that as, say, I beat things like Skyforce Anniversary to Platinum and all that. I've got to do it. I like to see things through to the end. So if I'm given a game to play in a month, I'm playing that until I've done it. So I wasn't going to stop.
Well, talking of achievements, are you going to get the Toplan collections like I've got them
I will
now?
happily do them.
Yeah, I think they're definitely up your alley. I think you need to get them because they're definitely doable achievements. If I can get a platinum on it, you probably can as well. Most definitely. I've seen the ones that you've gotten shooters, and I don't think I could get them. So,
to be honest, the hardest one's been the Vasara collection.
yeah, imagine.
So I'm just laughing at David's comment about Dark Souls. He tried Dark Souls, spent an hour humping a wall whilst the skeleton stabbed him repeatedly in the back. Fair enough. As a non-shmup fan, I actually really enjoyed this. It was fun to play. It was good, pick up, put down. I found myself going back to it over and over again. I don't know what I was saying, but anyway.
Well, that's what I was kind of saying earlier on. Like, you know, it's such a good shmup that it gets people not necessarily into the genre into it and actually enjoy it and want to keep playing. Whereas a lot of shmups are like, you know, I said, fuck you. And it's true. Like, you know, they're deliberately difficult to make you try and overcome it. But if you don't like that genre, it's like, well, no, fuck you back. I'll just switch it off. Whereas Fire Shark makes you want to keep playing.
I would say it probably ranks as probably my second favourite shmup I've played after Cinemora. I really like Cinemora. I happen to get it with Games with Gold. I played it and really liked it. It's got a good storyline. It's got different sort of animations and stuff that you would get. But I really did enjoy this. It was a really good game. It's one of them games I would never have played unless it was on this kind of thing, which is really good.
Well,
For those
can I
at
give
home,
you guys?
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
Sorry. So right, so can I give you guys a shmup assignment then? Nothing to do with the stream or anything. But how about you all play Gradius on whatever system that you can? Because I find that the perfect game to sort of like get your ass kicked, try it again, and you end up getting a little bit further each time, and you start learning. And it's a great shooter to like learn the mechanics of sort of like persistence of shooters. It's a great simple game that's rock hard once you lose all your power-ups, but still doable. And I think that's a great one to for everyone to jump into.
Maybe you should throw that into the Club 52 choice.
To be fair, with the Club 52 thing, I think a shooter might not be a good idea to do a game because there's only a certain amount that you can really talk about a shooter, I think, really. Whereas like an actual full-on like 10, 12 hour plus experience kind of game, open to more discussion, I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it'd be cool to get
I didn't put Tetris. I was going to put Tetris Effect in there.
Ollie was asking, is what system? Well, is it on MD? But what system is Gradius on?
Unfortunately, it's not on Mega Drive. It's on pretty much everything except Mega Drive. So yeah, it's Nemesis as well. I'll play this. Yep, Sean, you can play the C64 one, but you're not going to learn shooters the same way as if you played it on the NES or the arcade. It's on the PlayStation. You can get it on like PlayStation, usually in the sale quite a lot. It's on the Konami Shooter Classics. Sorry,
You've only got Nemesis on the Game Boy.
If you click, Gordon, if you click the comment again, it'll take it off screen, and there you go. Just trying to. Sorry.
So, Paul, the shmup that you mentioned before, so what system was that for? I think it was probably Xbox. You said Games with Gold, but...
So it came out as Cinemora on the 360, and I imagine it was on PlayStation 3. Eddie would probably be able to advise.
It was a mobile phone game to start with. Yeah. Because I had that like about 10, 12 years ago. I can't get into it, to be honest. I really can't. It's very epic. Like there's a lot. I understand it because it's like time based and stuff like that. It's a fun game, but I'm not a massive fan of it. I know a lot of people are though. So,
but then there was like a remaster for the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 era Cinemora EX or X. I don't know which way it is. I imagine that probably included everything else that was released, DLC and stuff.
Yeah, I think they just put it into like actual control based rather than just like touch screen based. Maybe.
No, because you had Cinemora, which was Xbox Live Arcade release, which was control based, and then you had Cinemora X, which came out on the later generation. So I don't know what the differences were, John, to be fair, but yeah, they're a newer generation shooter. There's been a few that I played on Evercade, but I can't remember the names of them off the top of my head. But they've been fun to play, and I've been playing them because I used to play the high score challenges that they used to do. But I've kind of fallen out with making Evercade videos because every man and his dog jumped on the bandwagon, and they kind of pander to people that will review the cartridges and then do nothing with them afterwards. So I stopped kind of making videos with that. Not that I've fallen out of love with the Evercade. I just don't make videos for it anymore. But anyway, that's besides the point.
So, Dylan's saying he's willing to come on, so have a chat.
Bring him in then.
So can I just suggest two shooters I think that are pretty good for like getting into shooters?
Definitely.
One would be that Skyforce Anniversary I mentioned earlier, because you can grind and make your ship better. And the other one would be Sisters Royale.
Yes.
On easy, it's not difficult at all. Like I 1cc that pretty quickly, but that's a strange game because you're running across the floor and you've got like ice physics and stuff. But genuinely good game.
One of
No,
the
I
other
don't like that one.
I've just bought the Death Smiles 1 and 2. Dylan suggested it in one of the groups. I just bought that on the Switch. I bought Death Smiles ages ago on 360. I've still not played it, but that looks like a proper bullet hell killer.
You only get to shoot a cow.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that bit. Yeah. Yes, the Death Smiles are great. To be honest, it is a entry-level shooter as Death Smiles, even though it's bullet hell, very easy, predictable bullet patterns. However, you have like 3 stages that you can like go up to. Like as you're playing, you can change the difficulty. Fuck me, sorry about that, Gordon. I just swore. But like level 3 is just a screen of bullets. I'm not even joking. It's just like it is impossible. You have to like learn like sort of like deflecting mechanics and stuff like that to get through it. But what a beautiful game they are.
And I'll just rewind a little bit.
Eddie, what was that?
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry,
shooter
dog
you
invasion.
recommended on the Switch. Dagenmura or something like that. Dagenmura. What was it?
Bagamora.
Number?
What was the what? Sorry,
No,
on a
no,
Switch I recommend it.
Aye, wait there. I'm gonna go get it. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
So I'll rewind a little bit. Eddie said that he's just a kind of an average shmup player. I've seen him and Dylan play in the arcade club on one single shoot 'em up game just to beat each other, and I've seen them top that leaderboard time and time again. So don't let him kid you on that he's just average.
Well, you know, I'm all right. I can't 1cc bullet hell games. It's just impossible for me.
You saying you're average at shooters is like I'm saying I'm average at rhythm games.
No. You are like god level. I watched you the other day. That was insane. But to be honest, like I don't understand how that doesn't translate into shooters the same way, because your reaction time must be up there to do what you do on them.
I think it's autistic.
And as well, it's pattern recognition, because you're not going to know what them are just by seeing the fingers fall down on the screen. You must sort of like memorize the pattern slightly.
No, I just read it.
I imagine that Ross is very, very much like the Guitar Hero god that you would see playing Guitar Hero on the highest level ever.
Yeah, I do top a lot of the arcade ones when I get a chance to play them.
Yeah, we need to get you to come to Arcade Club. You'd love that rhythm floor.
I do need to. I need to see it.
Yeah, just make sure you bring some headphones. That's the only downfall. You can't hear anything. That's the problem.
Ross has got some nice cat ear headphones now.
Oh, some cat ears. Yeah, get some.
Did you find out what your Switch game was, Gordon?
Here it comes. It's coming. Downloading. 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Marcus is going to be shaking his head through this whole stream, by the way.
It's coming. This one. Danmaku Unlimited.
Oh yeah. That's a good one. That's a very
good,
modern
man. That's a good
shooter. Yeah.
Aye.
That's one I downloaded to try and learn bullet hell shooters on Steam. That was free. Is it Toho Fantasia or something? It's supposed to be really good for learning to play bullet hell shooters.
Dylan's in. I think
Yep.
Dylan's down below.
Oh, I see him. He's coming.
If you've got Steam, a really good and cheap shooter thing is called Shoot 'em Up Test or something. I'll try and remember what it's called, but that is a really good way to learn how to play shooters and stuff like that. It tests like all your reaction times and everything like that. Fantastic. I got really addicted to it playing it. It's almost like sort of like a WarioWare of shooters, if that makes sense.
I'm conscious all his question was on the screen for quite a while then, and none of us actually have answered his question. So his question was, have we all beaten...
I've just taken it off.
I know you have. Yeah, it's all right. So have you beaten it, Gordon?
Yes.
I think everyone here has.
I haven't. I definitely haven't beaten it. But that's just...
I usually 20,000 likes.
But yes, I've beaten it, but not on my video.
Well,
that I
Dylan,
put up by the album.
Hi, you all right?
Hey, Dylan.
Right, Dylan?
Hi, Dylan.
Yeah, I'll do everyone. I'll do everyone in the chat.
I had your footage up to show people what the game was actually like, by the way, Dylan.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, it's... I think, you know, I mean, I don't know what's been said already. I haven't been here, you know what I mean? But I think I don't know, the open setting, you know, the easy setting, it's a bit easy. It's a bit too easy, but it's a good entry-level game on that difficulty, you know what I mean? But it's a bit too easy, especially when you're fully powered up and you get to a certain point in the level and you're fully powered up. It becomes a bit of a breeze. You just, you know what I mean? But then it's easy to just, you know, cock up, you know, slightly and then bang, you're back to, you know, you're back to square one. And if it's later on in the game, it's quite hard to get back into it. Like, that's what happened with me. I think I died on stage 8. And once that happened, it was hard to claw it back, even though I had loads of lives. I was using all the lives to try and get those power back up again, try and get to the next sort of stage of me power-ups. But yeah, and I think I got to stage 10 in the end. But you know, yeah, you know. But if did anyone try it on normal?
No.
I played that the arcade.
The arcade's brutal.
It's not just brutal. It absolutely goes in dry. It's awful.
And what I would say, you know, Paul, does it give you an auto fire option on your arcade?
No, there's no dip switch. There's no dip switch options on the arcade.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I think the arcade, it could be slightly more manageable. I mean, it'd still be hard if you had an auto. If you had you press the fire button and it automatically done a rapid shot. I think the arcade, yes, it'd be hard, and we'd probably not want to see it. But I think it would give you a shot. I think the fact that you've got to keep on tapping the button on it, because I've got it on. I played it on the Mister, and it's not an easy game at all.
Essentially, if I put the 8-bit do arcade stick on, I could possibly find a way.
Yeah, you probably can with the little settings. Yeah,
too much messing around. I just want to be able to play.
Imagine that's hell. I tried the Mega Drive one without rapid fire before I realised and ended up with serious wanker's cramp.
Funny story. I had the Mega Drive one, put rapid fire on, and I was still pressing the button.
But it's a game, I'll be honest, I never really paid much attention to before. I mean, I'm aware of it, I know its heritage and stuff, but I've never really paid much attention to it until we started playing it on this, and I started really getting into it, you know. I was like, this is awesome, because when I think of Mega Drive shooters, I think of Hellfire, Tatsujin, you know, Gynog, Elemental Master, Thunder Force 3. They're like the shooters for me. I never really thought about Fire Shark, you know, and well, you know, it's a really well done game, and you know, Toplan did a great job on the Mega Drive, and it's got loads of charm, and it's you know, all the stuff that happens on the ground. It's an awesome little game. It is a really good game, and like I said, on easy, I think it's quite a good introductory game for that genre completely, you know.
So I played a shooter, and I thought I was doing really well with this shooter on the 360. It's an East Asia soft published one. And I thought, well, you know, it was still quite difficult. And I counted it in my 52 games. And when I put it in the group, Eddie basically laughed me off. He said, the most basic shooter you can ever play. I can't remember what it's called. You play as an octopus.
That like token.
Not that one, yeah. Takadon.
Right, you're with me there, aren't you, Dylan?
Eddie basically said,
sorry?
You're with me there, aren't you, Dylan?
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. My copy's still sealed. That's just me, isn't it? But no, it was a really good game. I was like happy when I'd done me 1cc on it. I've done that a good few times on it, if I'm being honest. I mean, like Paul, I did film a run where I didn't have a mic on, and I just did it. And I thought I'll record commentary afterwards, and I did that. And then I thought, no, I want to do it the proper way. And I like done a little bit playing around in OBS and found out how you do it, and plugged my mic in and had my capture card, and that's the run I did, But yeah, it's it's all about that red power up, isn't it? Once you get that, you get to you get fully powered, you're a beast. You know what I mean? It's just
Dylan, are you going to do the arcade one though next?
Oh no, I couldn't even get to the end of stage 2 on the arcade.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's brutal. Like I say, having to tap on that button. I think give me a on fire. I think I'd have a bit more of a shot in it, but then it'd be easier for everyone across the board on that.
Isn't there a dip switch on Mister to put an auto fire on there?
I think there is ways and means of doing it in Mister, like you know what I mean. But you have to do it every time you load the core up to get that auto fire option. There are ways to do it. Certain games do have them. It just depends on the game or who's made the core on Mister as to whether there's an auto fire setting.
What I need to know is on the Mega Drive one, because when you beat the game, it just re-loops, doesn't it, and you start again. Does it step it up to normal at that point, or does it just ever so slightly make easier harder? Because it definitely felt harder when you go through the second time.
Oh yeah, that second loop is hard. I was just showing on Steam, John, because I know John Bundy does Steam. Shmup skill test. It looks like nothing, but it's like $1.99. But such an addictive little game, and it like sort of like tells you how well you are at playing shmups.
Also, I've seen you actually. I just realised, for those who don't know, that Eddie's T-shirt is a shmup T-shirt. Darius.
It is, yeah. Or Sagaya, as other people might call it.
Oh, don't do that, Eddie. Marcus will be.
Yeah, I need to pick that up. I mean, again, this is bloody Ollie 8-Bit Boys challenges making me wanting to buy Master System games I had no interest in before.
Master, not Master. Master.
You can get that game on the Switch though, if you look around. You know, it's on one of the Darius collections on the Switch or PS4. If you that's cheaper than buying the Master System version. Plus, you get more Darius games. You get it on like a pack.
I don't think Sagai is that expensive to be fair.
Oh yeah, that's the Darius Plus, is it, or is it Darius?
Extra version.
Extra version. That's it. The one that was on the Mini.
Yeah, and then it was physically released by Strictly Limited.
Strictly Limited, yeah. So is that the Japanese copy of it?
No.
I know I don't know what it's called, the Japanese version, who the publisher is. Eddie probably knows who they are. You do publishers.
Columbus Circle.
That's him, Columbus Circle, that's them.
Everyone's like, I don't know what you're on about. Very niche. That's a very niche publisher, that is.
Yeah, they were the people who did Glay Lancer as well, didn't they?
Yeah. I think that's going to get published soon on like Red Art, I think, Glay Lancer. Because Ratalaika published it digitally, and a lot of Ratalaika games are getting published by Red Art.
Glay Lancer is about to be sent out to everyone who pre-purchased it from Strictly Limited. So
Retrobit
for the Mega Drive,
yeah.
Because I ordered it as well. So this is bloody all you lot making me play shmups, made me buy this, and also then Glay Lancer. So I will be getting that hopefully in a week or two. So
I'm so glad I'm not peer pressured by all these people that I interact with, because I'd be brought.
Yeah, it wasn't peer pressure. It was just
the one I've been playing after I put down Fireshark, I thought I'm done. I'm all Firesharked out now. I started playing Twin Hawk. And Twin Hawk is another Toaplan one. Same similar sort of style, with old warplanes, whatever. You know what I mean? But that starts out in easy settings, and it's brutal. That is a tough game. It makes Fireshark look really, really easy. But Twin Hawk's one.
I don't fancy having to go on here, because you see it there in the middle. I don't fancy.
Oh yeah. I can see it. Yeah.
Play Demon's World. That's fun.
Fireshark was brutal on here. That to me is a good thing about the Evercade. At least they're starting to release the arcade stuff now, and they're releasing it as true arcade rather than rather than you being able to change the settings and things, which I think good. Although you can spam the amount, however many credits you want, but that's different.
Talking about recommended
Do you know,
games
I think, sorry, Mark,
in.
everyone keeps on pulling off games from the shelves. Marcus is not going to be happy.
Or you need to put a pre-warning for Marcus when you've actually got it up properly.
Trigger warning.
Yeah. But yeah,
I don't
Dylan
want to pull
mentioned the
anything off.
game.
Everything's load bearing.
Well, Dylan mentioned the game.
Just start grabbing.
Ross, that you might like.
games from the shelves.
Yeah, Ross. Dylan mentioned a game. If you like, what's it called, Sisters Royale, where it's sort of like foot-based. Dylan mentioned a good one a second ago, Elemental Master. So that plays similar to that.
Amazing, really good.
That's another Mega Drive game that has that sort of like footfall, sort of like shooter, run and gun, sort of like aesthetic.
Is it that one that's stupidly expensive?
Hang on, sorry, Marcus.
It's probably it's on, I think it's on the Evercade. Is it on the? I wonder where is it? Oh no, it's not. That's renovation, isn't it? The Evercade. I've like a renovation collection.
This is by who?
Renovation in America.
Oh, I don't know about America, but this is by Technosoft, who do the Thunder Force games.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely one for you there.
Sorry, it's got amazing soundtrack on that game as well. Really good game.
I think most 16-bit
doable. It's really good. Yeah, it's a really doable game. It's not overly hard, I don't think. I think it's quite manageable game. You know what I mean?
Not like on Deadline, which is like fucking brutal, but also awesome.
No, but I think with Elemental Master as well, I think you've got to get to like when you get like your main power up, when you get to the end of the level, you get to carry that forward onto the next level, and then if you do that level, you get to carry all your weapons forward. You can cycle through them as you get through the game, so it actually gets easier as you get more further into the game. You power up, you just get bigger and bigger, you know. But yeah, really nice game. You know what I mean?
I like how we've hijacked this into like a shmup discussion.
It's not on the.
No, isn't it? No, right. Okay.
Unless it's changed names. No, this has got Arcus Odyssey, Beast Wrestler.
It's got a few on there, hasn't it?
That's
like
a very high value.
Valis is really good. I enjoyed Valis. Soldice is pretty cool as well. But yeah, it's not on this now.
Yeah, Soul Feast is a very cheap Mega CD game as well. I don't know how it's so cheap, but yeah, great game anyway.
So has playing Fire Shark made anyone a convert to these type of games? And I heard you, Paul. You were saying you're still it's not like your favourite genre, which is fair enough.
No, it wouldn't convert me. It's not my. I don't hate it, but it wouldn't convert me to be in a. You're not going to find me in the arcade club in that room you and Eddie love.
Oh, I love that room.
We nearly didn't leave there the other day, did we?
No, we were in there for ages.
But equally, I wouldn't turn my nose up at playing a shooter, a shmup. So either way, I wouldn't turn my nose up at playing many games, apart from some of them OG games that I'll play. But that's besides the point. I take that back. I don't turn my nose up at them, but they're tedious, shall we say? This wasn't tedious. This was fun to play.
Yeah, I think if they give you a shoe in and let you get somewhere in and they are fun, you know what I mean. If the ones that aren't fun are the ones that are so brutal that they just throw everything at you from the very start, and you find it hard to actually move forward and get better and better. It's just so tough from the very start. Whereas that one I think was a quite nice sort of introductory, especially on that difficulty setting, and with the rapid fire, it was a nice doable game, quite relaxing, you know what I mean? Obviously, as much as I like these type of games, am I the biggest fan of the bullet hell ones? No, probably not. I probably prefer like the 32-bit, 16-bit era ones, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think this one's a good game to introduce people to the genre,
I I don't need to be a convert to them. I really like shooters. I just haven't played as many as I feel I should have. So any recommendations, I'm happy to give a go. I've played pretty much most of the stuff on the 360, apart from a couple of the Japanese ones that only came out in Japan. But I've got I've played a lot of stuff like Ikaruga and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I play a lot of kind of the smaller release ones like Super Hydora and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, older stuff I haven't played that many of, so I'd prefer to play some of the older bits.
Yeah, 100%. Like first shooter, I recommend to anyone Gradius, but don't play it. Don't play it and then go, that's too hard. It's play it and just keep at it for like a week or two, because it's a totally different game. Then once you actually start learning how to play it, it's a different game, and I think it makes
it's definitely not the genre that I give up on. I give it a go and go. Gonna get somewhere with this.
But as well, Generation Pixel said it didn't convert me. The RPG elements were threadbare. Goes back to another one of Ross's mentioned, Skyforce Anniversary. Very RPG sort of like elements there where you have to choose your levels, what you want to level up, and how you want to tackle the next level. So yeah, one for you maybe.
UN Squadron, is that in sort of a similar vein?
Yeah, UN Squadron's got RPG elements, I'd say, definitely.
That's a game for the bin for me. I'm not a fan. I want to like it, but I can't.
I didn't really get on with it that well either. I kept dying.
It's very hard, UN Squadron, but I think it's one that, like you say, you got to like get your money up so you can get the weapons in the store. And until you get them, you need to build yourself up a bit.
Well,
I don't know whether you heard, Dylan. You influenced me. I bought the Death Smiles 1 and 2 on Switch.
All right, that's a solid title. You know what I mean? Seen as one of Cave's best, the first game is anyway. I don't know about the second one's not really as highly rated, but the first one people think it's.
I have the first one on 360, but
got a Christmas theme. The second one, it's all polygonal sort of graphics rather than sort of the sprite based. The first one, people sort of look their noses down on it a little bit, but it's good as a little package. It's decent to have them both on a card.
It's worth it.
I mean, how much was it? Well, like £17, £18, was it?
It's like £18, £19 for a Switch game. That's cheap.
Yeah.
So, especially brand new.
Worth it just for the first game, to be fair.
Yeah, and cheaper than the 360 originals, well, especially in Japan. You know what I mean?
I think 360 will go for now because
it was
years ago for like nothing.
It was like about £5-6 back in the day. All the shmups for the 360 were £5 or £6.
My best ones when I got Dodon Patchy Resurrection when game was shutting down, sealed for 98p.
Is it still sealed though? That's
sealed. Is that like a £40 game now? Is it 40, 50 quid? I don't know.
Like
that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Death Smiles was topping like 30 quid at one point.
Really?
Yeah. I was after
Kai Katana was going up, and that used to be literally like £3 for years.
Yeah, Kai Katana took ages to really pick up as a price wise. You know what I mean? I think that it has a little bit now. I'd say it's still on the cheaper side, but it's not like what it was. You know what I mean? Back in the day, you know.
They're both 50. They're both 15 knots.
Oh, are they? Oh, right. I thought it might have been a little bit more than that.
No, I think I picked up a Kai Katana quite cheap as well. But yes, again, it's another. I've got it, but I've not played it. I bought it because it was backwards compatible.
Yeah, Kai Katana is a good game, but it's not the most memorable Cave games. There's just nothing that like sticks out like all the others. I find.
Yeah, loads of the better ones. I mean, not saying all the better ones left in Japan, but quite a few of the good, the best Cave ones never made it over here. You know. They're saying that Death Smiles and Dodon Patchy are really good, but there's loads of like.
That's a shmup I've never got off the first level of. It's Tengai on the PS2. I don't know what it is about it. I think the sprite's too big.
Weird to me out. Sengoku Aces, is it?
It's Sengoku Blade or whatever. One, yeah. So Sengoku Aces is that. This is the first one, I think.
Right.
I think Eddie.
Yeah, that's the one that's on the Saturn, isn't it? Sengoku Blade.
Yeah, Blade spelled wrong on the Saturn.
I
Yeah.
sucked
Yes,
so
yeah.
bad at that game.
I reckon Eddie and Ross have conspired together so that every time Ross says a game, Eddie's got near him so he can give him back.
It's just that all my games are shooters. That's all.
Well,
I don't know anything else.
well, you just raised a good one there. I mean, the psycho shooters. I think the psycho shooters are really quite good ones to as starting points as well. I mean, they're not. They are hard, you know what I mean? They are tough, but they give you a shoe in and to get the skills to try and get fair into the games. And they've got really easy difficulty settings on them. You can put them as like super easy. There you go.
Not only is he pulling.
I'm not sure if Gordon.
As soon as the stream gets shut down.
Is it okay to show that, Gordon? Sorry.
I'm getting there. It's coming. Oh, aye. Oh, aye. Yes.
The Japanese are quite
Well,
weird with some of the things that they're into.
Yeah, there's some saucy pics in here. There'll
There'll be no.
I don't know how I've missed them, like flicking through, but
There will be no pictures of male genitalia though, because the Japanese don't like male genitalia.
Pubic hair.
That's why it's always blurred.
I think I've only got one shooter or two shooters in reach. Like I don't know where they are in my room, but I can see two.
I'm so behind on pickup videos that I've actually just picked one off the side, which I haven't tried yet. But if anyone who saw Retro
Eddie.
Red Steve's recent,
I need to give you yours back tomorrow.
yes, you do. Yeah.
That's yours. Anyway.
What is that, John?
God, everyone's showing games at the same time.
Cobra Command, but for the Mega CD, but it's a dual pack with Soul Feast.
Which is Soul Deist.
Soul Feast.
Which Soul Feast and Soul Deist are the same game, just one's got better music than the other.
There is one of those, I believe, that is on Evercade. I'm not looking through every cartridge I own.
I think it's Soul Feast.
Yeah, Soul Deist, which is the Mega Drive version. The Mega Drive version is called Soul Deist, and then obviously the Mega CD just added music to it.
Oh, right, okay.
Because Soul Deist, correct me if I'm wrong, was never released in the West, and it's now being published by like Limited Run or Strictly Limited.
It got a US release, didn't it? It just never got a UK PAL release.
It's now being re-released again.
Yeah. It's been someone's got the publishing rights to it, and yeah, Retrobit have put it out.
That's it.
Very good.
They put that El Viento as well, didn't El Viento at the same time?
Oh, so that'll be on here, I think. Probably.
It's on
That's
that
on the
renovations crop. It's on that renovations pack.
Yeah, it's on here.
Yeah.
Apparently, I make the royal family seem common.
I don't like seeing a big picture of myself, but yeah, so it's on here, Soul Deist.
Yep.
That El Viento's on that as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And it's a really good collection, this renovation collection. There's loads of good stuff on it. Beast Wrestler's horrible, but that's besides the point. But yeah, Gairez was really good, and Valis was fantastic. El Viento was okay. Granada, I can't remember.
Granada is sort of like a bit of a tank-based shooter.
Yes, now I remember. So you kind of it was still fun to play. I've got that many Evercade cartridges now. They all blend into one. To be fair,
I never played in an Evercade.
sorry.
I kind of want to just to see what they feel like.
The D-pad always puts me off. I think that just...
It looks spongy.
The thing is, with the VS, you can play any pad that's got a USB connection, so it doesn't have to be handheld.
Do you use your system much these days, Paul?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so I tend to play sort of a lot of things like Canon and that kind of thing. So the longer running games and the games that I'll have running for months and months and months. I won't just jump in. But I was saying earlier on, I I still love my Evercade, but I fell out of love with making videos about it because
yeah.
I don't ever bother about big people who will talk about it for 2 minutes and then put it back on the shelf and do cock all with it. So
yeah, you don't see as much people sort of. I don't know if it's the people I'm sub to. I just don't see as much of it these days.
It's still quite big with quite a few, but
yeah, I'm sure there's a hardcore crew that's still there. I just want to see less of it.
What it is. I think me and Pete, we're the two who basically have. I mean, it's because of Pete I fell in love with it, but we're the two who we were kind of in. He was on ground level on it. I came in after, but we loved it, and then it became everybody's fancy piece. So even Metal Jesus has made videos about it. So that tells you everything that you need to know, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not something I've ever fancied, but it is what it is. I think it's it's got its audience. You know what I mean? It's clearly been a successful product, hasn't it? You know?
Yeah.
It's a great idea, and it's got games in the hands of people who would have struggled to get them. So
yeah.
Well, that's it. I mean, renovation. I don't think a lot of the people that like collect Evercade would ever have picked up like an El Viento game or anything by Renovation. To be fair, when I saw them collections, I was like, wow, there's some top tier releases.
There's a couple of Spanish. I can't remember which one it is. It's not Technos. There's a couple of Spanish producers as well that have released games on it and things like that. It is good. So I'm not here to.
Are you still doing a full set for it?
Yeah, I've got the full set so far. I'm not saying I'm going for a full set, but I've got every card.
You're on the train still, anyway.
Yeah, it fits. It fits my needs. It works for me. I just don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It's one of them. I've always said it gives me games I would never go out and buy, like everybody's just said, and it might not be for everybody, but I like it. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Evercade.
Changing that completely, Gordon. Since you paid for Bioshock, you paid the 40 quid for the game. Do you think it's £40 well spent? Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I think it was definitely it's added to my collection, and it was a game I wanted to play, especially after the 52. So yeah, 43 quid well spent, definitely.
Yeah, I think you did okay there. It was just a manualless copy, wasn't it? Box with no manual.
Aye. Well, I got the manual online. I've got the manual.
Oh yeah, you got a PDF or something of it, didn't you?
I did, aye. So I got to see the storyline.
Printed out, folded it.
There is a storyline.
So didn't you read it? Didn't it? Doesn't give you the background story on the game, what the story is, and that? Didn't you read all that?
It does, aye. I had it up a minute ago, but I can't find it now.
Right, I've got 8% battery left on my laptop, by the way. So I don't know.
What's his name though? I do all know this. The M2 Shotgun releases of them are pretty decent. They give you loads like extra artwork and stuff, don't they? On those releases.
Proper,
really nice.
Yeah, very well made releases.
Yeah, I think as far as like ports go, they're seen as pretty much the gold standard, aren't they?
So are we going to spin the wheel then, Gordon, for the next game?
Thinking another spin. See what we got next.
Yeah, why not?
Sugar.
I think so. Yeah. Sorry. Give me 2 seconds. I'll get it up. So spin the wheel, then we'll finish the stream. I think. So he's ready. Can you see it?
Put yourself on full screen.
No.
You might be able to.
Oh yeah. Good thinking.
Turn the brightness down on your phone just a touch.
Yeah, it's just like a white screen for us.
Right. You ready?
Let's see if we can see it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can't see it.
Ah,
Is this in murder?
Is this murder
Yeah.
sole suspect?
Yeah, I think I've got that.
That's a Scott Glory Hunter pick. That was his pick.
I
That's
have
a-
played this before, but I do
Murder
need to
Soul
complete it
Suspect.
on the 360.
I
That's a
believe.
very cheap game, isn't it? If people want to pick it up if you haven't got it either as well.
Yeah, I
I'm not
believe.
sure if I've got it, to be fair. So,
Yeah, I think I've completed 360 and Xbox One. So I'm happy to play it again, though.
PlayStation, get the PlayStation ones.
I could do. You're correct. I do possess a PlayStation.
Well done, Scott.
Or three.
Well done, Scott. You win taking over the stream in the new game room. So everyone give him a round of applause.
Yes. So yeah, I think Scott should host the next one if it's possible. I think maybe we'll rotate the host because I know Gordon was very nervous about doing this. So although you've done really well, mate. To be fair.
Yeah, it's all good.
100%.
Gordon's just been a
But anyway,
intravenous of being brew and like and book fast straight into him.
No, listen. So thank you very much for watching, and that's us. So the next game is going to be Murdered Soul Suspect on the Game Club 52. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Right, for those who are curious, Murdered Soul Suspect is currently for the 360 on CX, £2.50, PS4, £4, Xbox One, £3, PlayStation 3, £3.
There you go. No excuses.
Or Steam
Exactly. No excuse.
is 16 quid.
Just don't give your kid pocket money for a week. You'll be fine.
Cheers.
Cool.
Some people.
Thanks all.
Can you say Murdered Soul